Thank
Hello.
you.
Hello.
Okay, first thing to say is just thanks so much. We've hit over 20,000 subscribers.
Woohoo!
And we're so delighted and thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So welcome to Q&A part 3. And again, thanks. We're having a great time with this. Thanks for all your questions and we'll do our best to answer them all.
As good as we can.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. Sarah Beth, thank you for your question. In order of what is most important to you, what is the reason that you went vegan or plant-based? Animal welfare, effect on the planet, or health benefit? Thank you guys, loving your content. Thanks a million. Thank you, Sarah Beth. Wow.
What do you reckon, Flinner?
They're all really important. You know,
I reckon for me it was, I didn't really know why, I didn't have any reasons why I couldn't justify it, it just felt right. So I think it was more, it felt right, which is really vague. But that would be what it was to me.
They all make total sense to me, like the health benefit, the animal, and what was the last one you mentioned?
They all make sense, but I think
the effect on the planet,
but I think the first one you didn't know why the hell you did it, like.
No, it just felt right.
Yeah, and then you had to justify it, and that was why you explain it.
But I guess all three, if I was to pick one, probably health, maybe first.
Yeah, the selfish one.
The selfish one, health of me, and then health of the environment, and then health of the animals. They're all important. Thank you anyway. I hope we
rambled our way through that one.
Lee Stevenson. All right, Lee Stevenson. Thank you for your question. Love the channel, lads. Thanks. You're positive and infectious. Cheers, cheers. Would like to know what you both do for fitness now that you have kids, and what was your choice of yoga practice, or do you still do it? Good man, Lee. Fair play. Great question.
Used to play loads of rugby and golf and tennis and all that. That was before we were actually 18, probably.
Yeah, and run. Used to run.
Ran a good few marathons. Now I think it's really, we do yoga. I've done kind of Ashtanga yoga for, I'd say, more than 10 years anyway. And kind of still do that regularly.
Probably do it about 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
It depends.
Yeah,
depends on the week.
Sometimes you could do it 5 times a week.
And sometimes you do it once. No, sometimes you do it once.
Yeah, you just get too busy with other things.
So it depends. Swim in the sea, I think, is a great one. And then I guess we're always busy doing things, you know, around.
Our work's pretty physical, or else we live real close to Bray Head, so you'll run up the cliff, you know, some days when you're just your head's wrecked, you need to get away from it all.
But other than that, there's no regime or nothing that we follow.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of a gym down here that we mess around with from time to time, but yeah, that's really it. Matt and Anna, all right, Matt and Anna.
Matt and Anna. Oh, Matt and Anna, 2 people. All right, Matt, all right, Anna.
What do you think about using agave syrup? I heard mixed things about it. Love your videos, by the way. You know, it's a liquid sweetener. It's pretty crap, you know.
But I think all kind of liquid sweeteners, it's a bit like, you know, I don't think they're health foods at all anyway. Unless you're using stevia, which I don't think it really works, you know.
Stevia's awful.
It's like walking the line. If you're going to have a treat, I think have the treat, like, and put in honey or agave or whatever it is. And it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but, you know, if you want the healthiest thing, eat the vegetable or eat the fruit, and don't eat
apples
cake.
or eat kale.
You know, I think that's.
But again, we all want to be happy, and if you were to eat kale and apples all day, you'd be boring. And, you know, a little bit of agave every now and then, grand.
Stoke volume.
Stoke volume, yeah!
What are your thoughts on coffee? Oh, this is one for you, definitely.
Okay. When we first opened the cafe, we didn't want to sell coffee and cake because we thought that's too unhealthy.
Oh, it's not healthy for you. It's not good for you.
That's bad. But I guess we were total idealists, and we realised you have to be practical.
Thankfully, someone said that, lads, you're feckin' crazy. You've got to sell coffee. You're opening a cafe.
So we've been selling coffee, I guess, for about 8 years now.
I'd say 10 years.
Yeah, close to 10 years.
Definitely 10 years.
But I've never drank it, and always kind of.
But you taste it.
But I never drank it up till about 2 years ago. A friend started working with us, Paul Grimes. Thank you, Paul Grimes. And he is the most passionate and infectious man around coffee. He just has such a love, and he was all talking about how coffee has more flavor tones and notes and red wine, and it's just full of these subtle flavors that are amazing. So he kind of got me interested in just tasting coffee, not drinking it, but just tasting the subtle flavors of an espresso and how they're different depending on the origin, depending on the roast profile, depending on the extraction time. And I love just tasting an espresso, like just tasting, you know, a soup. What are the
tasting where it's from? A Nicaraguan versus a Colombian versus a Brazilian, a washed versus a natural. All these different subtleties. It's really fun.
Yeah, so we've lots of fun. So we now roast our own coffee, and Paul roasted. Paul and Shane roasted.
Steve competed in the Irish Barista Championships last year and failed miserably.
No, I thought I should have won, but I didn't. But
well,
hey,
of course,
fun process.
You were going to win. But so to answer the question, do you drink coffee?
No, I don't drink it, but I taste it. So like, I wouldn't sit there and drink an espresso or drink a cappuccino or a latte, but I'll taste an espresso. You know, I love tasting a couple of espressos. And if I'm ever exhausted and I need to work, I will drink an espresso.
Rainbow Smile. Hi, Rainbow Smile again.
Jeez, you're good on your Rainbow Smile.
Have you always been very close?
We were once one, so yes. We were once one egg, so yeah, we really have.
Yeah,
always been very close, even as humpy teenagers. You know, we were still sat beside each other in school, you know.
I think that was more a defence mechanism.
Yeah, you wouldn't let anyone near you.
Yeah, because if one had hit you, you'd get 2 fists back at you. Wow.
But
And
yeah.
it's handy because he's left-handed and I'm right-handed, so tag team. Yeah, wow, what man, cool. Thanks, Rainbow Smile.
Yeah, but we really have always been close.
Zena Hamzi, great name. Zena.
Great name, all right, Zena.
How's it going, Zena? Did you face any problems when you turned vegans, like bloating or constipation or anything, basically?
Definitely not constipation. Whew,
No, quite the opposite of constipation.
Free flow.
Yeah, definitely.
Fibre power.
Yeah, direct.
Sorry, excuse that.
But definitely not constipation. But I think probably it's a bit like if you're not used to eating a diet that's high in fibre. You know, it's a bit like if I used the...
If you break your arm, you know, the muscles get weakened. The same way if you're not used to eating a high fibre diet, the muscles in your stomach are a bit weak. And as soon as you start eating high fibre diet, it can just, the muscles are
difficult to
struggling
digest.
and you could feel a bit bloated or a bit...
So it might take a few weeks to kind of adjust to eating a diet that's made up of whole foods, and you probably will be a bit gaseous.
Gaseous.
You might be a little like a trumpeter or a Pied Piper.
But stick with it.
Yes, vegetables for president. Were we best men? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Were we best men at weddings?
Did I have a best man? But you were always my best man. But I didn't think we had one. We kind of had different type weddings. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? I had a speech. I spoke at your wedding, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't speak at yours. You didn't even come to the dinner.
Yeah, we had at my wedding. Me and Dave and Damien and Mark, we did all the cooking, and a few others did all the cooking at our own wedding, and we kind of just sat out the back and had kind of soup in the sun, and that was the wedding dinner. But that suited us, you know.
So
I hope that answers the question. Yeah, we were best men at each other's.
Andrema Bo, awesome videos, you two. Love your personalities. Do you have your own vegetable, fruit, herb
Oh yeah, I'll bring you
gardens?
over to the garden now in my house. We'll come over now in a second. I'll show you
Will
around.
we?
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. We've
It's cool.
gooseberries,
There's gooseberries, there's raspberries, there's apples, there's pears, there's plums.
there's bees.
We used to have loads of vegetable patches, but then it took so much energy. When you got a vegetable shop and loads of suppliers, it was kind of hard to justify it, really.
Yeah, eating the kale in your garden when you had heaps of it in the shop. You know the way.
And
you
picking weeds, and then it was usually a bit of a disaster, like, except for pumpkins. Pumpkins went well, and I won a prize for the pumpkin growing contest in the local vegetable growing contest. Yes! I did actually, I was the pumpkin king back in
That's very good,
2005, I think.
But yeah, we'll get shots of the garden now. Okay, welcome to my garden. This is Steve. This is the garden where I live. So we'd have apple trees here. You know, this one here is a Lord Lamburn. There's cookers here, cooking apples. They're Bramleys, you know, they're more bitter. Gooseberries here. For those of you who don't know gooseberries, come on, come in. When they're ripe, they're kind of like Irish grapes. Beehives are there. There's 3 beehives. If we go in further, again, these are all apple trees. Here's some ripe blackcurrants. Come on in through the trees, sorry, excuse this. So here's blackcurrants ripe. Do you like blackcurrants? You know Ribena, that's where Ribena comes from. They're pretty nice, they're ripe. Yeah, really nice, bit sharp, but lovely. The kids love picking them anyway and messing around with them. There's again more ripe gooseberries here. We've pear trees just here on the side of the house. There's 3 pear trees. So here's some raspberries here. Just behind the trampoline. They're kind of coming to their end. We did a big clear out. There was so much stuff around them. Just cleared them out the other day. But yeah, that's really it in the garden. Used to grow loads of veg here. Like these 3, I'll show you here. Like this bit here used to be a veg patch, that bit there and there. But since having the kids, it was just too hard. They were falling all over it and just, we weren't looking after it because we have a veg shop. So you can be a bit, you know, leave the kale get overgrown because you have loads of kind of amazing local stuff that was just, people were better at growing stuff. But there's the garden tour anyway. Thanks for watching. Thanks a million.